Kevin, pump this pump. Click this pump. This pump. Is that it? Kevin, pump this pump. Evil this pump. This pump. Is that it? Kevin, pump this pump. Click this pump. This pump. Is that it? Kevin, pump this pump. Click this pump. Pump. Is that it? Kevin, pump. Pump. Click this pump. Pump. Is that it?
All right, everybody. It's time to start. So we're gonna fade out the Rob 2E theme song. And when I say fade out, I mean simply just cut it off like abruptly, like I just did. So welcome everybody to Sunday night. This is All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show, and there are 4 of us here tonight on the show. So I would like to welcome, first of all, my co-hosts, starting with Theoried Fate. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Do you even know how to fade out music?
I do, but I'm so lazy that it's just never going to happen.
Okay, just wanted to make sure and clarify that.
Yeah, I totally do. Mr. Leroon, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Just got
Excellent.
down to having dinner and getting ready for the show.
All right, and our guest tonight is Geo Quester. How are you, sir?
I am doing peachy keen.
Excellent. That is good to hear. So before we get started, we will, of course, give the disclaimer, which is that All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show is meant to teach and help, but the opinions stated by the 4 of us in no way represent that of Smiteworks USA LLC or Fantasy Grounds themselves. And I'm going to quickly switch over my screen. There is Jeff himself right there. We're going to look at him because he's going to share his screen once we get into what we're talking about tonight. So, Jeff, why don't you begin by telling people who might not know who you are, just in case there's anybody new here.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff, or GeoQuester. I've been kicking around the internet since the internet began. But I've been a streamer for 2.5 years, 3 years. What are we up to now, Rob? You're 6 months ahead of me, so.
Yeah, so you started beginning of 16? Or first
Somewhere in
quarter,
there.
second quarter,
Yeah.
16, something like that?
Yeah, first, second quarter, 16. Yeah. So I've been streaming since then. Before that, let's see. I've been a game designer since 2001. I've worked with Wizards of the Coast, Goodman Games, Sword and Sorcery Studios, amongst many, many other smaller ones. Let's see. And I've been a tabletop gamer since the way early dawn of time. I remember when first edition was the new kid on the block. There you go. I remember. I remember when it was just Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So, and unlike some others who say, "Oh, I've been playing since such and such a time," I never stopped. I never took a break. I never took time off. I've been playing for. Oh God, my birthday's next week, so. I've been playing for 37 years, 38 years, 38. Yeah, 38 years. That's how long I've been playing solid. I've been playing at least one game a week for 37 years.
That's crazy.
Right.
I love it.
On.
So
yep,
cool.
and I played through all editions of D&D. I've played Pathfinder. I've played near on to 100 different game systems. I've run 50-ish to 75-ish of those since the early 80s. So I kind of have some experience.
Yes, you do. So I'm gonna let you show what I have the. Well, here I'll show the website because we do have your Kickstarter up, and for everybody that wants to look at this directly on Kickstarter, I'll put the link in the chat. And yes, happy early birthday, my friend.
Thank you very much.
So if you guys want to go
birthday.
if you guys want to go there while Jeff talks about it, you'll be able to actually see the Kickstarter itself. But I'm going to switch over to him again because he'll be showing his screen. And do you want to just explain to people what you want to explain about this Kickstarter?
Sure. Okay. So first of all, let me go ahead and mention that this Kickstarter. Here, let me get over to whatever screen I want to get to here. All right. This Kickstarter is meant to fund the mapping and the graphic design for a virtual box set. Now, for those of you who are older gamers like myself, you remember back in second edition era that things like Dragon Mountain, Under Mountain 1 and 2, Myth Draenor, all the rest of those things had big giant box sets that had maps and booklets and all sorts of shit inside it. Well, third edition tried it a couple of times and various things like Rapanathlic by Necromancer Games. They had a virtual box set. AEG, Fantasy Flight Games, they all had virtual box sets where you could purchase huge campaigns all at once. So The Grim and the Wicked is a huge campaign. It brings you from character creation to 20th level in a single campaign. It's split up into 4 164-page each books. Each one of them goes to a different tier for a 5th edition game. So tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it leads you along a plot line, and it leads the group along a plot line. It also includes 2 decks of cards. It also includes a special accessory, which I'm going to be showing you guys tonight, called the Encounter Tracker. Not to be confused with Fantasy Grounds Combat Tracker. And there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in this. It's my magnum opus. It is near on to 40 years of gaming experience. Like I said, I've been gaming for a long time, and it's taken all of my experiences as a game master, all of my experiences as a game designer from all of these different systems, has combined them all together in 5th edition to make it absolutely one of the greatest games you have ever played in your life. And it's meant for the brand new DM who has never picked up a book before in their lives to be able to open this thing up and run a game for players and make it feel like they have all, sat down at a master's table. This will make Matt Mercer cry because this is going to be better than anything he's ever run, other than the fact that you just need to have a voice actor.
Oh, everybody knows why I'm laughing.
Yeah. So, but that's what it's meant for. And each of the different sets, there's a PDF version of it, there's a Fantasy Grounds version of it, and there's a print version of this box set. The virtual box set for PDF will be getting all sorts of wonderful things in it, including a Game Master screen that you can print out and you can set up on your table. If you are playing the physical box set, the one that's printed, which we've had a few people get in on that. That's one of the highest level for our backers for the Kickstarter. There will be one already inside that you can utilize and set it up in front of you. The artwork that's going to be the wraparound for it is by Storn Cook, the same guy who did all of the covers, which I might be able to pull up at some point in time to show all of you. And then the Fantasy Grounds version of it will come with what you can see on your screen right now, which is the Fantasy Grounds Enhanced. That's very important. Fantasy Grounds Enhanced desktop, which is more than just a theme. This also has functionality to it that we will get into. It's not programmed into this alpha version yet, but there is going to be additional code, so you only have to open one extension ever, and you never have to worry about all the other extensions.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It looks
Yeah.
nice, at least.
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice. I like this one. It has all the nice little bells and whistles on it right at the moment. Like, it has granted the token for the dice tower is a little funky looking, but it does really cool stuff. Like, you mouse over it, it lights up. Same thing with our other buttons here. They all light up and everything like that when you click them. Right now, I'm working on animation for all of those. That's where the enhanced part comes in, because it does utilize some secret itsy bitsy bits of code that were downloaded 2 updates ago in Fantasy Grounds. So for those of you who have Fantasy Grounds and got the really cool, updates, and it was like this huge big update, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? All my tables were working weird." Well, it put in enhanced coding into your table, and this utilizes that to do really cool stuff, like go shuffle a deck of cards. I have 2 decks
Ooh,
of
okay.
cards in this game, so wow, I wonder what happens.
Hmm. I had no idea about that.
Yep. So
So
that's all there.
what can we see? Can we look at any part of it?
Yes.
Show us all the secrets.
Want to see all the secrets? Well, I do not have the secrets here. Okay, the secrets are going to stay here. They're going to
Oh.
remain secret until a future date, and I have to tease people with something some way, don't I? I just, I'll just let you know it's there. I just I'm not going to show it, but I do have other stuff.
Don't you know nobody likes the cock tease? Nobody.
I do know that.
I like a cock tease. I do.
I was not going to say anything, but I have to agree with Rob. I do as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk
here we
about the
go.
encounter trackers. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, as Rob had his disclaimer at the beginning, I also have my disclaimer at this point in time as well. The graphics that you see on the screen are currently placeholder graphics until the Kickstarter is funded. When the Kickstarter is funded, these will be changed. Now, Fury Fate is looking at this going, hey, that doesn't look like what I used.
Yeah,
It
it's
looks
nothing like what
different.
we used. It's actually pretty.
Yeah, exactly. The one that I had given out was like really fucking weird and ugly looking and
Like a
everything.
5-year-old drew it.
Hey, I did that in like a half an hour, okay? Just to make sure it all worked. But what we have here is the encounter tracker. The encounter tracker comes in 2 flavors, blue and red. Blue, obviously, the party tracker. Red, the enemy tracker. Now, these are things that only the game master sees. The players do not see any of this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a fantasy scenario right now. Now, on your screens, you'll see that there's a party tracker. You'll see on the blue one that there's 3 blue dots and then some cross swords down at the bottom. The blue dots are what we call event markers. These event markers get placed over here in little white dot areas. So we'll just go place a couple over here. We'll place them da-da-da, da-da-da, and da-da-da. So what I've done is now, for this encounter that we're setting up, we're going to say the players have chased down a goblin spy, and the goblin spy has run into a cave. The players have chased the goblin spy. Now, when they go into the first room of the goblin cave, they see that there is 3 goblins and a goblin spellcaster in the first room of the cave. Now, normally, this would be a pretty straight out fight that the players would go ahead and they would attack the goblins, and the goblins would be like, oh no, we've been attacked. And there's really nothing for the game master to do. There's no information in the module to say, well, this is what happens when such and such a thing happens. Utilizing these encounter trackers, it changes. So you could actually replay this encounter with as many groups as you wanted to, and it will constantly change. Now, please note that this is an incredibly simple encounter that we're talking about, and this is how Grim and the Wicked works. It starts off very simple and then builds on itself, which I have another thing over here on the side that will explain it here in a second as well. So, for each regular goblin in this encounter, they're worth 1 point, we'll say, for the game master. This is all information that's behind the screen. The game master is able to see this information right in his thing that says, on the blue tracker, each time a PC defeats a goblin, it's 1 place on the combat tracker. If they're to beat a goblin spellcaster, it's 2 places on the encounter tracker. So the players go in and they kill a goblin. We move our token over to the first spot. So they've gotten 1 point. They kill a second goblin. It moves up. They kill the third normal goblin. Now, when it reaches the first event marker, it says in our description down the side, when you reach event marker number 1, whatever remaining goblins run away and join the goblins in encounter number 2. So the goblin spellcaster has attempted to run away and has gotten away from the players. The players move forward. They go into encounter number 2. Now, in encounter number 2, there are 2 goblin spellcasters, one from the first room, one from the second room, and there are 2 normal goblins. Well, they get into a battle. Once again, goblins are worth 1, spellcasters are worth 2. So this time the players decide, oh, you know what? I'm going to kill the goblin spellcasters instead because they're a pain in my ass. So they kill the first goblin spellcaster and they get 2 points. So they move up 2 places on the encounter tracker. Now they're going to kill the other goblin spellcaster. Oh, look, we passed by the event marker. Well, this event marker says in it that if you've reached this event marker, then whatever remaining goblins are alive move on to encounter number 3. So we've passed by it. Those remaining goblins, the 2 that did not get killed, they run off to encounter number 3, and we just continue on with encounter number 3. Now, this last encounter has the event marker on it that says if you reach this event marker, then the goblins surrender and give you a piece of information. So now in this room, we have 2 goblins from the previous encounter that have run into this room. And in this room, we have a goblin bodyguard who is worth 1 point, which is worth 2 points. And we have a goblin spellcaster who's worth 2 points. So now we have a total of 6 points we can get. We say we kill 1 normal goblin and we kill the goblin spellcaster. We have reached the final event marker. That means that the bodyguard and the other goblin have now surrendered and say, okay, I give up, and they give you a piece of information. Over on the other side, we'll go to the red event tracker. We'll put 1 at 5, and we'll put 1 at 10. So we'll say that as the rounds tick by in our combat here with the goblins, that goblin spy is moving deeper and deeper and deeper into the cave. So as each round ticks by, this keeps sliding up every single round. Now we've reached the first red marker. In the encounter's information, it would say when you reach event marker number 1 on the red tracker, this happens. So now we'll say that event 1, all of the goblins in the cave have been alerted to the PC's presence. So now they all get a +2 to their first round of attacks against the players because they've been readied, they've been forewarned. So there would be an effect up in Fantasy Grounds that you'd be able to drag onto those goblins to say, for 1 round, these goblins are at +2 to all attack rolls and saving throws. So the goblin continues moving forward. We're now getting up to round 9, we'll say. We move into round 10. Now that we've reached the second red event marker, we look into our description for the encounter, and it says, reaching this event marker means that the goblin spy has reached the goblin boss in room 4. The goblin boss has been forewarned the players are here and has advantage as long as there's another goblin alive in the room. So when the players finally breach through the door, because they've reached their blue tracker, their third event marker on the blue tracker, they finally burst through the door because the goblins outside told them where to go. And they burst into the room, and there's the goblin boss and the goblin spy, and we now have this big fight where the goblin boss has advantage as long as there's other goblins alive, and all the rest of the stuff. But if the characters moved quickly and didn't ever reach the second event marker by the time they got through this room, that goblin boss would not have advantage. He is not forewarned. He's not ready for the entire situation. So the players basically get the jump on him, they get in the door, and away they go. So that is a really simple way to show the red and the blue combat tracker, or the encounter trackers.
Okay. There's a question in chat from Subnet Striker. What happens if the party evades the goblins or performs actions that don't involve combat, but advances the story/encounter?
If it advances the story, there will be information given in the encounter itself. So, for example, let's say the party decides to go around all those goblins in the first one. So it'd be those 3 regular goblins and the goblin spellcaster. Well, in that case, then that would be considered a defeat for the goblins. So that'd be 3 points for the regular goblins plus 2 points for the spellcaster. They'd be moved up to 5. So they would get past that one with absolutely no issues. And the game master at that point could leave those goblins in that room, not knowing what the hell's going on.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So even if, they're not murdering the goblins, which why would you not want to murder goblins? You're
Right.
still actually progressing into the story. That's good.
Now, all right. So Fate, you've signed an NDA with me, but you've played the some of the playtest material that's come out, and you've seen this from
I
both
did.
sides. Don't tell anybody what the encounter itself was, but would you like to say, as a person who had never seen this, you're not the person who created this, you got to play it and run it, you go ahead and tell me what your feedback is from it.
Hard. We all died. No. But no, like you were saying, it does make every playthrough different. And after we did the thing, and then we were talking about, it's like, well, how could we have done it differently? And it's like, oh, wait, what? There's a tracker. What do you mean there's a tracker? So it was interesting to see, that, even if we did play it differently, even if we had different party members and set up, that it won't be the same encounter because, like you said, we could have just bypassed the first group of goblins, gone to the second group, or my opinion, burn it all.
I like the burn it all opinion. That's a good one.
Yeah, when in doubt, just burn everything. Fire cleanses.
Now here's the character tracker. Interesting.
Yes. So now we're going to start moving into more complex things. Let me set up the scene for you.
I love you, man.
There we go. I will make an easier way of doing these little things here. I'm going to be utilizing my enhanced tabletop. So you can actually turn these buttons on and off for yourselves. So there's something new for you to be looking forward to as the code comes out.
Boffin has a question. Is the extension going to be able to load up in different rule sets?
I am going to make it so it is available for core. So that way anything that uses core as a background can utilize this, yes.
Fizzle X-Man, thanks for the sub to the channel. I hope I'm saying your name right. Appreciate that. So, yes, please do tell us about the character tracker.
Okay, so the character tracker. Yes, you are ready to die. The character tracker is exactly like the party tracker. It's exactly the same thing. It's just extended. It's if you get the printed version of this, or if you get the PDF version of this, you will have two separate trackers. You'll have a party tracker and a character tracker that comes with it, printed out, ready to go for you, kind of thing. And where the circles are above these little blue boxes is where you would put a picture or write a player's name. The printed version will be magnetic and dry erase. So that way you can just check, so you can just check mark things and slide tokens up and down and do all sorts of stuff. So here is our setup. We are late in the game. We're like in the tier 3 book at this point. We are high level characters. We've seen some shit. Furied Fate is playing a fighter. Leyron is playing a rogue. Suzy Q is a barbarian. Rob is a wizard, and I am the cleric, because we all know that clerics live in my games so long. All right. And what we have is on the far left-hand side is a blank space. There's no character portrait or anything like that. That is the actual party tracker. So instead of me just pulling up the party tracker again, we're using this same board so we all know what's going on. On the right-hand side, you see the enemy tracker has now been set up with various little tick marks all the way up. At every 2, there's a tick mark. We walk into a room, and our rogue Leyron looks around the room and says, "Hey guys, there are spikes in that ceiling 30 feet above us." Furied Fate and Susie Q, the two of them look around the room, but they don't see any enemies. Rob looks around the room and sees that there are 4 crystals, one in each corner. I look around the room and I see that there are 2 glyphs, one on the right side of the room and one on the left side of the room. Now, since we've gone through this dungeon, we're pretty deep in this dungeon, we have run across each of these individual things in other rooms. So we automatically know kind of what's going on already, except that there's no enemies here for us. So I know as the cleric that those glyphs that are on the floor, that those are going to do something when somebody comes near them and they need to be dispelled. Rob knows that those crystals are powering something and that they need to be shattered, and that the only thing that shatters them is arcane energy. Leyren's looking around the room, seeing the spikes at the ceiling, and obviously that ceiling is going to fall on your heads, so he's going to start looking for a way to disarm that. Meanwhile, the 2 who are the melee combatants are twiddling their thumbs and have no idea what the hell's going on. We step into the room, the door behind us slams, and the ceiling begins to lower. So on our red tracker, we move to round 1. The ceiling begins to lower, spikes are coming down. As those spikes are coming down, we see that one of the glyphs on the floor lights up, and then 2 figures come out of one of the crystals. These are ghostly apparitions. Immediately, Susie Q and Fate both run over and begin to beat on these apparitions, and Leyren sees that there is a winch mechanism that is in the center of the room that controls the ceiling. Okay, so Susie just came over to talk to me for a moment. Sorry about that. So Leyren sees that. Rob moves over to the first crystal to his right. I move over to my first glyph on the right-hand side. Leyren moves to the winch, and the girls have moved off to go beat things up. The girls begin to easily dispatch these things. Now, whoever gets the killing stroke gets the point. There are 2 of them. So we'll say that Furied Fate kills 1 and Susie Q both kill 1. Meanwhile, Leyren is doing something called an extended action. Now, we've heard about extended actions in 5th edition, but it's very rarely used. It was used more often in 4th edition with their skill challenges. So Leyren is doing an extended action, and he begins to succeed. Every time he succeeds at a skill check, he is going to be moving up his encounter tracker. Meanwhile, Rob is doing an extended action, channeling arcane energy, utilizing his arcana, and every time he succeeds at the DC, he starts moving up the encounter tracker. And same thing with me with my religion check to erase the glyph that is on the floor. So that's round 1. Round 2. Fate kills 1 as another one pops in. Our ceiling drops 5 feet when it reaches the first event marker. Leyren fails on this one. So now he's stuck there for a second, twiddling his thumbs. Susie Q rages and goes off, and she finds that there are 2 other ones in the room, and she kills both of them. Now, she's reached an event marker. Furied Fate has reached an event marker. So for Furied Fates, we move up 1. For Susie Q's, we move up another 1. Rob, understanding that I need to actually spend some real power to get these things to break, they're not like the other ones we've run into in the dungeon, decides he's going to spend a 2nd level spell slot while he is channeling his energy. He moves up and destroys one of the arcane crystals around the room. We now move up again. I also realize that in order to erase these things, I need to spend some energy from my own, so I spend a 2nd level divine spell slot, so I erase one of them. We have now moved up to the first of the blue encounter tracker markers. Everybody in our room now has advantage on their die rolls. So we'll continue this way for a while. So Furied Fate will kill off, a couple of more. Susie is absolutely horrible because it's Susie rolling, so she ends up botching pretty much everything. Leyron is actually getting pretty damn close to succeeding at figuring everything out. Rob understands, you know what? I'm just going to use a 3rd level fireball and I'm going to nuke the next one. So he moves up a full one, and I'm being a little conservative because people are, getting hurt. So I only move up 1. So at this point, we will move up another one here for Rob, since he's got 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're here. This round, Susie Q decides that she is saying, fuck this, I'm going to help Leyron instead. So she turns around with her axe and she smashes into the winch. And because she caused damage, it actually made Leyron's job harder. He moves back on the encounter track.
Oh, back? What the?
Yeah, moves it back down because that's not
What
what's supposed to happen. She has thrown a googly into your mix. The cogs begin to spin and whir, and all sorts of nasty things happen. Well, we've also, we'll say we're at 3rd round or 4th round at this point. We're at 3rd round. She hit it, and also the ceiling falls another 5 feet. So instead of it being 30 feet overhead, now it's only 20 feet overhead, and those are big, giant spears that are up there. Still, the door that's at the other side of the room hasn't opened for us yet. Susie, understanding that that was a bad thing, goes back to fighting the shadows that have popped out with Furied Fate, but neither of them kill anything this round. Rob is running out of spell slots, so he's decided just to continue using his cantrip and his arcana to slowly eke his way up to destroy another one of the crystals. I decide that I'm also utilizing cantrips to do the same thing, so we don't really move anywhere. The next round, Leyron actually gets pretty good, and he's been able to recover from Susie Q doing her stuff. The red encounter tracker goes up. Fate kills off 1. Susie kills off 1, which allows this to move up. Rob, it gets closer to destroying another crystal, but I have finally destroyed the final thing on the floor, which moves us up to the 2nd blue encounter tracker. The 2nd blue encounter tracker at this point would say the ceiling resets and recesses back up, and all the enemies that are left begin to fade away. The crystals that are left power down. Any runes that are left on the floor power down. And the door at the far end of the room unlocks and opens, and the players are now able to move forward. So as you can see, in a complex kind of encounter where you have traps going on, you have combat going on, you have puzzles going on, all at the same time, you can follow and track each one of the individual players around the table, and each of them are adding to a pool that allows people to advance the encounter forward. Of course, there'll be other options in there, like, what happens if the wizard turns around and fireballs one of the bad guys? Well, you'll find out that the bad guys have some sort of resistance to magic, so they only take half damage to anything magical, until that first blue encounter tracker marker has been met. At which point, okay, now their magic resistance is gone, or some other such thing. So you can just keep doing that kind of stuff over and over again. Things get very, very complex, and you can track them. So if you didn't have this encounter tracker at the time, you would be having a headache as a game master.
That is really cool.
That is cool.
That was some, as you were going through that and explaining it, that was some Indiana Jones shit. I was very worried that we were all going to die. But
And matter of fact,
opened.
that's one of the game systems that I looked at. The original Indiana Jones RPG has some great things in it, like chases. It has some great encounters and big rolling boulder stuff that had weird actions that go along with it that are all extended. 5th edition doesn't really handle that very well, and I didn't want to make new rules. I wanted to make it as simple for the game master to run it as possible. I wanted to build on something so you could run really, really very difficult encounters, and be able to sit back like you're a pro and just kind of like, this is nothing. And the players are like, oh my God, they're sweating and terrified. And you're sitting back with a grin on your face going, I know exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, because it's all right here in front of me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that.
So-
Go ahead, Fury. I was going to ask it, but you can.
Chat's asking already, will this be available independent of the campaign?
No, it will not be. It will be, okay, so here we go. This is how this works. You will be getting the encounter tracker as a separate module with the first tier module. So for example, if you were to be on Kickstarter and you did the sampler pack, which is just Shadowfall, which is the first adventure module, you would get the 164-page adventure module. You would get the Shadowfall deck of cards, which is 30 cards that have some really cool, weird shit that happens during a couple of encounters. And you'd get the encounter tracker. Those would be 3 separate modules you would get as part of the downloaded zip file for Fantasy Grounds. But that's the only place it's going to be available, there and in the virtual box set. That's the only 2 places it's going to be available. If you want the encounter tracker, that's how you're going to do it. But because it's a separate module, you can utilize it anytime you want to with any game system.
Yeah, that is super cool.
Sweet.
And I didn't want to interrupt you, Jeff, but when you were talking about extended actions, I'm assuming, I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming what that is actions that a player does over the course of more than one round. Is that what that means?
Yep,
okay.
that's exactly what that is.
Thought.
So it would be something complex. So for example, Leyron's extended action where he's working on this winch. It's a combination of thieves' tools and investigation and, other skills involved there. So like in the description for the winch, it could say, first the player needs to succeed at doing an investigation check. Then they need to succeed on doing a 2 thieves' tools proficiency checks. And then finally, they need to do 1 final investigation or maybe a strength or a dexterity check to throw a specific switch where they have to reach inside the cogs and do all the rest of the stuff. And it'll tell you what happens if they fail at each one of those situations as well. Not only would they not move up on the encounter tracker, but something else may happen. So, for example, if Leyron rolled a 1, now we know that there's no such thing as critical success and critical failure in 5th edition when it comes to skill checks. But by saying they failed a DC by 5 or failed a DC by 10 or more, etc., we can give a different effect that will go along to that player. So, for example, the investigation check, if they fail by more than 5, perhaps the next investigation check is at -2 because they're just looking in the wrong location. Or maybe if they fail by 10 or more, they actually move the red tracker up 1 instead of just it going up once per round. In this case, it will go up another 1 in addition because he's failed it so horribly.
Got it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
I want to use it. So everybody
Yep,
needs to
there you
go to the website right now and back this Kickstarter so that I can use the combat enemy tracker and the character tracker. Only me.
Exactly.
I only care
It's
about
a really awesome tool. People have seen this kind of tool before. I mean, tool is in a bunch of other game systems. It's just not in 5th edition. And when I sat down, I've used this tool. All right, I've been using this tool for 2 years, playing Delver Society. I use this all the time to track the players, track what they're doing, and do other weird random shit to them. Which seems arbitrary when I suddenly say, and then something happens. It's because I'm utilizing a tracker just like
right.
this to
Yeah, I
screw with you
kind of knew
guys.
that's what you're doing. And this is, it's not the same thing, but it's the same principle for the chase sequence thing, because it goes in a certain order and things that you have, that you use that for us for Wraithborn.
For Wraithborn, yep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. Zenball is asking, will there be instructions on how to implement it in other games? And what is the time investment to set it up once someone is proficient with its use?
Once somebody's proficient with its use, you could set it up literally as you're describing a room or an encounter. And as far as utilizing it for other games, I'm going to leave since of how this is being produced. It's going to be coming through the DM's Guild. Since it's being produced through the DM's Guild, I can only include D&D information for it. However, I can leave generic information in there as well to say, if you are utilizing other game systems, do things this way. That's how you can do it. It's very, very easy. It's system agnostic. This tracker is incredibly agnostic. You can utilize it for anything. I will include little, hints and other bits of information to say what would be great would be this, and I'll give you example encounters that you could utilize, and then the players can go ahead and the game masters can go ahead and utilize it however they wish with whatever game system they wish.
Okay. I get a
That's
couple
cool.
more questions here. We're getting questions are flying in now. Boffrin wants to know. He says, so you've added a qualitative aspect to the rolls instead of just pass fail. Oh, I guess it's more of a comment than a question, but yeah.
Yes, I have.
And then, let's see. There was another question. Oh, Marbanya. He says, so can you do the $100 Kickstarter and get everything for $100? If it doesn't fund, what will the same content cost when you complete it all?
Okay, so same content if the Kickstarter does not fund. Same content will be, I believe it was $150 as the bundle, and that still has a discount on it. So individually, each one of the modules is going to be $40. Well, between 25 and 40, depending on which one it is. If it has the cards that go with it, then it's going to be a little bit higher. If it doesn't have any cards or anything else, then it's going to be lower. But overall, it's going to be about $150. But the virtual box set that's going up on the DM's Guild has additional things in it that you do not get anywhere else. If we don't fund. The virtual box set will also include the enhanced tabletop for Grim and the Wicked. So you'll get this, this beautiful, background and everything. It'll have all the abilities, and it'll have like the deck of cards, the ability to do that. It has the the possibly animated buttons and all the other stuff that's going to be here. So that's what's going to be there. But you get that, but you will only get that in the virtual box set.
Got it.
That's cool.
And that's not because of me not wanting to give it out. That's because I can't sell the extension in and of itself, as per license with Fantasy Grounds and Spinetworks. Cannot be sold individually on its own. It has to be a part of something else.
Right. That makes sense. Oh no, I thought there was another question. There's not. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I was not gonna say anything. I was gonna give away a prize.
Sweet.
Because we always do that on Sunday. So let's do that. I'm gonna bring up the bot here, and I'm gonna start a raffle for a prize. And I'm gonna make the keyword Geo, because why not? And this will be for a DM's Guild item of mine, whether it's a collaboration with an author or one that I did myself. Either one. I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'll start a 5-minute timer so we can continue talking. And guys, if you want to win something from the DM's Guild from me, go ahead and type in keyword !GEO, and we will wait 5 minutes, and we will draw a winner. Hey Siri, set timer for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. All right, so we can keep going. She didn't do it. Hey Siri, set timer for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, you stupid iPhone. So
Siri, call
Like
Rob
a-
an asshole.
yeah, she'll do it. So after showcasing that, the encounter trackers and the character trackers, did you want to give any other flashes of anything for people to see that might entice them further to want to back the Kickstarter?
Let me see. Do I want to do that? Let me see.
And while
what
you're
I've got.
thinking that over,
Ooh.
thanks for the follow, Sildari. God, I'm so bad with people's screen names. I can't take it. But thank you. Welcome to the stream. And while you're thinking that over, Jeff, Diablo Bob is wanting to know, as the DM, what was your favorite encounter that you ran in this campaign?
Good question.
My favorite encounter is the last encounter. I'll talk to you guys about that. And give me a second. Give me a minute, because that's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. How's that sound? Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the damn thing I want to show you guys? Because there is something I do want to show you. I just gotta find the fucking. This is the problem when you have, like, 100 damn things on your.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's not it.
The stream is saying that my voice is low. Does anyone else in the stream experience that my voice is low, or is it just the one person? So I will turn it up. Oh, I'll fucking turn it up. But you don't want me to unless I need to.
Okay, there we go. I found what I was looking for.
They said
Okay,
you
Ball
sound good,
says
Rob.
it's- Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
All
Shadows, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Go ahead, Gio.
right. Okay, let me see here. Change windows. I want to show you. What do I want to show you? Well, I'm going to show my screen for a second. There we go. There, can you guys see that?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes, I do.
Let me zoom in a little bit.
Yep.
This looks interesting, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it does. It's got measurements and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. You'd look at this and you say, hey, that's a flowchart, wouldn't you?
I would.
It's not. This is a dungeon map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. This is one of the dungeons that comes in Shadowfall, is this 4-level dungeon that has all these really cool colors and weird shit going on. Yes, it's called the Heartwood Mine. That's across the side. This bad boy is amazing. This is one of my, I would say this is my 3rd favorite encounter in the entire thing. Because the players have no fucking idea where they are and where they're going. Now, because I am a Fantasy Grounds game master and Fantasy Grounds developer, I do a lot of development work with Fantasy Grounds, just like Rob does. When I wrote the adventure module, I looked at it from Fantasy Grounds perspective in certain encounters. This is one of them. Now, Rob, you know, Lyra knows, Fate knows, and actually some of the rest of you out there may know, that when you have a maze encounter of any kind for your players in Fantasy Grounds, it's ridiculously difficult to get them lost when you're supposed to.
Yep.
Au contraire, it's not difficult now, because each of those letters is an encounter location that does have a map, and then all those little dotted lines and stuff, those don't have maps. Those are twisty-turny everythings. The players have no idea where the fuck they're going because all you do is open one map at a time.
Oh, I get it.
Perfect.
That is the alarm for the prize. Let's give it away. Give it away, give it away, give it away. Now?
Now,
All right. So I will draw a winner for the DM's Guild item of your choice. And the winner is Physics Man.
Physic Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Physics Man just joined today, I believe. So that is a
Sweet.
sweet deal. Anybody can win. So Physics Man, what you would need to do, sir, and I do know it is a sir because you would call yourself Physics Man if you were a sir, is PM me in Discord. And if you're not on my Discord already, there's the link for that. And just go ahead and PM me in my Discord, send me a personal message, and give me your DMs Guild email. If you don't happen to have a DMs Guild account, go ahead and make one and then send me that email, and then I'll make sure you get your prize after the show. Because that's how we do it.
That's how you do.
That's how we do. So yeah, that's really cool. I like that dungeon flowchart idea, and I'm excited by the fact that yes, players don't know where they are and they're lost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would this be a situation where if they were in a certain room, they wouldn't be able to trace their steps back, or if as long as they memorize, like, oh, we took a left and a right, they'd be fine?
Exactly. If they memorized left and right, then they would be able to kind of understand which way they went and be able to go backwards and that kind of stuff
Okay.
from whatever the final encounter may be to whatever the first encounter was. But this also, as I said, this is the dungeon at the end of module 1. This is the Heartwood Mine. And it is, as I said, everything here builds on itself. You're going to see this in every single one of the modules. There's going to be something like this. In module number 2, which is Ruins of the North, module number 2, you have the same flowchart, but now you get to add the chase deck to it. So every time you go to a different room, an encounter is waiting for you as per pre-scripted, pre-planned, and then the game master would pull something from the chase deck to augment that encounter.
Oh, sweet.
It is cool.
So yeah, so it helps you a lot with things like races through a dungeon, or like the dungeon parkour aspect that was introduced in 3rd edition. It gives you that Indiana Jones feel once again, where you're just mad dashing, going, okay, I know that there's a trap down the hallway over here that we've already set off, and oh look, my assistant that betrayed me has set off the trap, and now his body is pinned to a wall. That kind of stuff is there. And this kind of makes it feel that way. So people had asked what my favorite encounter was out of the entire group. It is the final encounter. Now, I've mentioned this before. Rob, you've heard me mention this. Laren's heard me mention this and kind of giggles to himself about it. The final encounter is so mind-bendingly stressful for the players, I had to write 2 of them. If you have a heart condition, you cannot, or any other health condition of any kind, or if you're easily triggered or have PTSD, or if you have something where high stress situations are going to cause you to possibly die or freak out physically as the player, not the character, you cannot play option A when it comes to the end of the game. There is option B, the kinder, friendlier version.
Not the one where Doug Davison tries to put you in the hospital, is what you're saying.
This one would put Doug in the hospital before.
Okay, I want to make sure
else.
I can DM him through that then, because I owe him from last year when he put me in the hospital.
Yes. I don't know if this will cause liver failure. Actually, it could possibly cause kidney failure because people will not want to get up from the table to even take a bathroom break.
Oh, so it's got a timer on it.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it has a timer on it. Yeah, you know my timers well.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing timers. So it has a timer. It has the chase deck in it. It's got all the little tools that people have been built as we've gone through the entire campaign. It utilizes the whole thing. Now, from the game master side of it, now I've run this for 4 separate playtest groups. And I will tell you that there was not a dry shirt left in a single one of those groups. So 24 players total have played it and we had not a single dry shirt. And has been everybody from age 18. I think my eldest person was 62, and that's when we came up with the idea that this has a health warning involved with it, because it got so stressful we had to take a break specifically for him, because he was beginning to have heart palpitations in such a way where he had to hold his chest.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a selling point of the game or
I
not.
think so. I think it is. I think you get the book and you turn it over and it says warning, like like a music has a label like, oh, there might be a parental advisory for swearing or whatever. This one says warning. Like the video game might cause epilepsy. This game may
Right
cause.
there.
Oh, there it is. There
Warning.
it is. Yeah, here I've
This
got
campaign
a.
isn't recommended for players or game masters with heart conditions who are prone to strokes. Additional side effects include divorce, retreating to your grandmother's basement, wearing 1980s hairband t-shirts, cutting up your wife's drapes to make cloaks, dice paranoia, obsessions with statues, asking for charisma checks during normal conversations, and utter dependence on caffeine.
There it is.
Pretty good.
Oh man. So there you
So
go.
I know that you guys had questions for me as well, so I will turn off my screen.
Yes, I think we probably covered most of it. We did ask if it was an agnostic system campaign that you could do, and you did design it for 5th edition, but then certain elements and certainly all of the story can be used for any other rule system. And then do you want to go, maybe for some people that have weren't here at the beginning, do you want to go over specifically what will happen if the campaign doesn't fund, but yet people are still interested in getting this material from you? What can they do?
Okay, so if for some reason this does not fund, which is really kind of funny that on your screen it says, what happens if it doesn't fund? Well, it will fund.
It
It
will
will always fund.
What happens if Rob doesn't know how to spell the word fund? That's what we do. Yeah, right, like that.
Yeah, but if it doesn't fund, I am still producing Shadowfall, which is the first of the adventure modules. Once again, there are 4 of them. The first one is called Shadowfall. The second one is called Ruins of the North. The third one is called Allies No More. The fourth one has a kind of a temporary name to it at the moment, so I just will drop that name for the moment. But if it doesn't fund, I am still producing the first one. I will do all the maps myself. Actually, I had, after our conversation yesterday at Fantasy Grounds College, a person actually messaged me privately and volunteered for no pay to do outdoor maps for me if
Wow,
if I
that's
wanted them to.
incredible.
Yes. So I may or may not take them up on this. I'm looking for a very specific style. So it's kind of important to me that it has a very specific flavor. As I said, this is a magnum opus for me. It is nearly 40 years of game mastering experience and almost 20 years of game design experience is being poured into this. So I really am very particular. It's my baby. So I'm very, very particular on how this is supposed to look and how it's supposed to work. But if it doesn't fund, I'm doing it myself. And the first module will be out before Christmas of this year. So make sure to look for that. And it will have the first module, it'll have the Shadowfall deck in it, and it will have the encounter tracker in it as well. And it will be available only as PDF and as Fantasy Grounds. But which, by the way, the PDF has the, for those of you who don't use Fantasy Grounds or utilize some other virtual tabletop or need things, the PDF version will also include image files, so you can use them in other virtual tabletop programs and at your table as handouts.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sweet.
And then if this does fund, you will fulfill through Drive-Through RPG, whereas if it doesn't fund, you will be putting it on the DM's Guild. So people need to know that distinction. Is that correct?
Actually, Drive Through RPG owns DM's Guild, so the fulfillment is
Correct.
always going to be through there. It's through Drive Through. It'll technically be through Drive Through. So if you have a Drive Through email, whether it's RPG Now, Drive Through, DM's Guild, there's like 17 other different ones of them.
Yeah, but if people
Yeah.
are looking for it, they need to look not on DM's Guild, because there's a big confusion about that. They need
Oh,
to
no, if you're
not
gonna look
on-
for it-
yeah, you got to look for it.
If you're
on
going to look
DM's
for it, it's going to be on DM's Guild because it utilizes Forgotten Realms as its base setting. It has to be on DM's Guild.
So why does it say Drive Through RPG here?
Because Drive Through RPG is the fulfillment house that DM's Guild utilizes.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that off stream, but
I will. Yep, not a problem.
Okay, so everybody, if you're interested in this at all, you need to go and there's 5 days left, but the sooner the better. I know a lot of people wait till the last 24 hours or 48 hours to decide what they're going to do. Oh, somebody just did something. The number keeps going up.
Yeah, I see the number. We're up at just shy of 40%. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
So 5 days left to get this thing to 100% or beyond. Not to mention, and we haven't even talked about stretch goals. So if it goes above 100%, there's extra things that get added to it. And you can see those here on the website itself. And then he's also got social milestones here. So, and I don't know, is there any way for people to know if those have been hit yet or not? Oh, you would unlock it, I guess, is what.
Yeah, I'll unlock them. Yep.
Okay.
I'll unlock them if they hit those things.
So if you guys, even if you're not going to back it, but you want to help out, you can retweet this on your Twitter account, share it on your Facebook, and go through all these different social media things that you can do here to help him get the word out on this. Because even if if you're a person who wants to help out, but you maybe can't afford it, or aren't interested in this specifically, but you want to help, you can certainly put out the links and get more people to, because that's the thing with Kickstarter is people want to do it, but unless you know about it, then 30 days comes and goes and nobody, it's like, oh damn, I didn't even know, so if everybody helps get the word out.
Question. Zenball is asking. Go ahead, Bob.
Just went over 40% just now.
Nice. Zenball asks, there's several 150 options. Can you detail the difference between them?
Sure, not a problem. Let me slide back over there. Okay, so we have, let's see here, we have Get in the Game, which is a $150 option. You're added to the Immortals credits. You get both the virtual box set PDF and Fantasy Grounds version. And you get to add your favorite character as an NPC into the game. That is the Get in the Game. The other ones, okay, we have a deluxe where you get both the virtual box set and the Fantasy Grounds module, but that's unlimited. Whereas the Get in the Game only has 25. I don't know what else you would like me to say.
I see Get in the Game, but I don't see Deluxe.
Deluxe is the one that's right above it. It's called Get It All Deluxe.
Get It All. You're right. Okay, Get It All Deluxe. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's two 150 options. And then there's 100, 75, 75, 25, 25, 10. And then above the 150, there's 250 and 500, and those get crazy, and you get like everything. And then Jeff sends you a sample of his blood and a lock of hair, and I don't know what else is in there, but it's awesome.
Well, see, okay, so the 250, which is only one left, okay, you get to play in the Twitch campaign. It's limited to 5 people. 4 people have taken it up already. So it's limited to 5. You get to play with the Mistress of Darkness herself, Susie Q. She's going to be a co-player. So it'll be a total of 6 of you playing, and I will run it. So basically, anybody who has ever played a campaign before, it's one thing when you play it with a game master. It's entirely different when you play it with a person who made it. Because they have these nuances and stuff like that. They're just way overboard.
You know the entire world and every single political thing and every the background of all the NPC. I mean, you know everything. So it's
Yeah, exactly.
it'd be like playing it'd be like playing Curse of Strahd with Chris Perkins.
Right. Or Shadow of the Demon Lord with oh god.
Yeah,
I
all of a
just
sudden
forgot his
now I don't
name.
know his name. It went right out of
Yep.
my head this second.
I mean,
What's
I
the
know that
guy's name?
Schmo's done it, so
Yeah.
Schmo's played with him and everything like that. So it's he says it is entirely different to play, and I have to agree, it is. It's entirely different to play with a person who makes it versus just another person running the game, because as you said, you know every little nuance.
Yeah. And so
Of course, then there's the $500 or more one, which is the print version. It's the only place where you're going to get it for print. Will never be available for print outside of the Kickstarter. And for those of you who are wondering why $500, because it comes with a heavy-duty box in and of itself. It has all the little bits and bobs, all the accessories, all the decks of cards. Everything is printed. The booklets are printed. All that. And it costs me, between that and shipping, because there's no shipping inside the US. Outside the US, we'll have to talk to the individual people. It cost me $490.
Wow.
So
Damn.
I make
Yeah, so
$10 off that pledge.
Wow.
So just to let you guys know, I have backed this. Leroon has backed it.
I backed it.
Schmo's backed it. Fury's backed it.
I
Schmo was number
did.
one.
Schmo
I
was
did the
number one because
250. I
you
want to play
put
the
it up at the
campaign.
goddamn wrong time, you bastard. I wanted to be number one.
I
I talked to
got
him
excited
like
and I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, I was going to be the first backer of this, and I had it in my iPhone on my calendar, literally like go at midnight and click on this and be the first backer. And then Geo, this son of a bitch, he got excited and hit the button too early, so Schmo got it. I
Yep.
was like the fourth.
Yep. So
backer.
Rob was actually number 5.
Oh, number 5. Okay.
What do I, Geo, like 12 or something?
Oh, good lord. Let me see. You're not on my first page. Let me look at my second page. There you are. You're on the second page. You're way the fuck up there.
So Halfront in the chat, Halfront says, "I'm a backer. Let's get this funded." And Boffrin says, "I don't do Kickstarter, but good luck."
That's fine. That's fine.
I don't
Fuck
do
you, Boff.
Kickstarter either, but yet I
That's
do. And
fine.
the reason I say I don't is because I have a huge problem and I back like everything I see. But yeah, so guys, if you're at all interested in this, and then of course if you back it, guys, and it doesn't fund, you don't lose your money or anything. So just in case people think that, you don't get charged unless it does fund. So you're not risking anything. Hey, we just went to 42%.
I see that. That's awesome.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, guys, I really encourage this. I mean, I've played in Geo's games. So is Fury. So is Leroon. I've known Geo since November or December, or before Christmas for sure, of 2015, when he wasn't even streaming, but he was in my stream, and then we got to know each other and became friends. And you guys know, I mean, you can just search his name on the internet and everything. I mean, he's been a game designer since, the towers came down. I mean, let's just not, that I didn't need to really say it that way, but let's just give you an idea of how long it's been.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a game designer since the very beginning of the SRD is where I started. So the birth of the SRD back in the original 3rd edition, so not 3.5, but the original 3rd edition, 2001 is when I started designing games. The very first adventure module that I did, it was called Interludes, Brief Expeditions to Bluffside. It was supposed to be my writing sample. It was supposed to be 8 pages long. Ended up being a 64-page module. That was the #1 best-selling D20 module, third-party D20 module, for 3 years in a row.
50%.
Sweet, 50%. Nice.
Okay,
So,
speaking about games though, Geo question, when are you gonna start streaming again?
When the summer is over. I am on my final vacation this weekend. Okay, so this is what's really funny. Okay. So the Kickstarter is available until midnight Eastern time on Friday, this coming Friday.
yes.
I won't even be here for it. I am going. Susie Q is clubbing me over the head for Labor Day weekend. My birthday is September 5th, which is the first day of Legends and Lore. Season 5, Episode 1, Legends and Lore, will be on September 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern. She's clubbing me over the head, and she's bringing me out of town where there's no service, so I can't even see the end of my own Kickstarter.
Oh God, that must be horrible.
I won't know until Sunday when I get home.
So the
Wow.
chat is asking, no, apparently, I don't know, Geo said there were 4 250s, but it shows here that there's 2 left. But someone wants to know what time you would stream what day and time would that stream be done, and I'm assuming they're asking because they might want to get in on that.
I think you need to refresh the page and it should update the backers.
Well, actually, it looks like one of the backers. Let me see. Yeah, one of the backers that was doing the.
Nope, all gone.
Nope, it's all gone. Yeah, yep, they're all gone now. Awesome. Yeah, because one of the backers jumped from the 250 up to the 500, so they went to the
that's why.
they went to the big one. Yep. I'm going to leave that to the players. If this funds, then I will leave that up to the players. The players will be the ones who choose the time. They will choose the day. And of course, I mean, I'll give them options. I'll say, okay, we have the following slots available. What slots do you want to take? What's your preference? So that way we can do it together.
So that was Drake.
It will start.
Yep, Drake bought the 250 because he says he wants to play it if it funds. So there you go.
Well, thank you very much, sir. So what we're going to do is we'll do that, and it will start up in 2019 is what it's going to do.
Okay.
That will be how we do that one.
Errol at 451 in the chat has now informed us that the Facebook share link is not working. It says it is expired, so you might look into that.
Oh, gotcha. All right, I'll take a look at that. I'm not able to do anything about it right at the moment, but I will look at that.
So during this show, we went from 38 to 50%, so that's something.
Yep, I've discovered if this doesn't fund, okay, I'm going to say the if. If it doesn't fund, I've actually learned a number of things from doing this Kickstarter, and this will not be the only one. This is just the first. If it doesn't fund, I am going to produce Shadowfall by myself with my own money. I've already sunk over the last 2 years of development for Shadowfall. As I said, 2 years of development, not just, hey, I decided to write something one day. It's been developed for, Jesus, look at that go up. Is that 51%?
Yes, it is.
I've already spent quite a bit of money on this. If I were to reach the $10,000 goal, I'm still $7,500 in the hole when it comes to this. So I would, if it fails funding, I will still put up another Kickstarter, but in the future, it will be module at a time until the final module, where it would have a stretch goal to have all of the modules in it. So, but they'll be coming out slower. So instead of having the full virtual box set in December, January, you will not be able to have it until December or January of next year. So that would be the completion of it. So that's the difference. If you are the Twitch campaigner and it does not fund, I do plan on still running this game as we go through it. I still plan on running it, and the people who are the Twitch campaigners will have first dibs on the seat if it does not fund. After that,
see, that's patrons. I like that idea. I like that you would do that for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're willing to spend the money, so
yeah,
it's
there you go.
Hey.
So someone did ask if they could buy 2 different pledge levels, but Kickstarter does not support that. You can move your pledge up, but you can't actually buy like the 250 and the 500. You can't do that. But I did tell people that if they want to, if they're, for example, going to buy the 100, they can pledge more than the amount to help with the effort, but you can't actually buy 2 different pledge levels because Kickstarter doesn't allow the person to do it. I suppose you could do it if you signed up for Kickstarter with 2 different emails, you could then do that. But if you're
Mhm.
just on your one Kickstarter account, it won't let you buy the 2 levels. So
Yeah.
if you really,
I would actually suggest that you donate the money. Like, for example, the $100 mark, we'll say. It gives you the option of being able to pay more. So go ahead and if you want 2 of the 150s, let me guess, Zen, it's because you want to have 2 NPCs, correct? Or are you purchasing it for someone else as a gift? Because if you're going to do that, then you can go ahead and you can notate it. Or when I start going through the backer surveys, if it's funded, I can, I can talk to you about that then, saying, okay, if you're going to gift it, give me such and such a person's address and all the rest of this kind of stuff.
Cool.
yeah, I think somebody wanted to be in the game and get the
Yeah.
the other level, like the 500 or something.
Fizz
Oh,
kit.
okay.
But the game's already filled now, so
Yep. Unfortunately, the game in and of itself is filled.
that's cool. It says all gone.
Oh,
Yep, I like
God.
that. I like that. That makes me happy to see all gone.
But there's
That's a good one.
98 left of the 500 pledge, everybody. So get on it.
Okay, so the 500 pledge. All right, let's talk about the 500 pledge. People are like, yeah, what's that all about? Why is there only 100? All right, so this is not coming from the printed version. Does not come from a factory. The individual pieces do. It comes with a token sheet that you can punch out tokens for the creatures. It comes with, as I said, the magnetic dry erase, encounter trackers. It comes with all sorts of wonderful shit in there. But Susie Q and I have to assemble it by hand. And we thought it'd be really interesting to add into it a certificate of authenticity that is signed by myself, hand numbered, hand signed. Everything in there will be autographed for you. And there will be only 100 of them created.
So you're saying that there's potential paper cuts that's going to happen?
There is the potential of actually getting my sample of blood, yes.
Nice.
See, everybody, y'all should buy that.
I promised blood and a lock of hair. I did earlier, so maybe that's how you get it, is if you buy the $500 package.
Yes, you'll get my blood and a lock of my dog's hair. That's what you'll get.
A lock of your dog's hair. Oh, man. Well, all right. So, guys, if you have any other questions, ask now, because the man is here and he can tell you. Oh, Gio has been using FG for so long. How does he remember how to write still? That's Shad.
Yeah. That's actually funny. When I started using Fantasy Grounds, I got it for free initially. Way back when, before the days of Doug Davison, I got it for free because I was a game designer. And I got the beta of Fantasy Grounds.
Cool.
So I've been around since before Fantasy Grounds was for sale. So, and I used it at my home games for the mapping and for tokens and such like that at my home games. And I used it during game design and development because it was easier to see how the encounters would play out. And I could sit there after I made an encounter against a dummy set of like generic adventurers and just run the numbers over and over and over and over again to see where things would be a problem.
That is crazy. I'm addicted to just staring at this 5102 and waiting for it.
I know. It's like it keeps going up and up and up. I'm like, stare at it. Okay, let's see. Eric has one to say, hello, I have a question. Right now, I have the monthly subscription. Right now, I have the extra cash to get one-time buy subscription license, but I'm worried about losing everything that I bought already. If you get the subscription, if you have the subscription and you go to the one-time payout for Fantasy Grounds, it all converts over to you. You don't have to worry about losing anything. It all carries over.
Oh,
for you.
yeah. And as a matter of fact, if you do that, the only thing that'll happen is you'll update your Fantasy Grounds, and then it'll just change you to the license. But all the modules and all the stuff that you have in your folder, and even if you have third-party stuff or whatever, it'll all just be there and nothing will change. So basically what'll happen is you'll pay the fee, and then you won't have to pay the monthly charge anymore. So, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people come to Fantasy Grounds and they do either the $4 or the $10 subscription, and they do a few months, and then they go, you know what? Yeah, cool. And then they just switch to the license. And I know at least one person who specifically does the monthly fee only and never buys the license because he wants to support Fantasy Grounds, and so he likes to give $10 a month, and he's been doing it for like 3 years. So he's given
Nice.
like $300, but he specifically does that because he wants to pay a little more because he likes it so much. So, but if you are someone who wants to, convert your monthly subscription over to the license, all you gotta do is buy the license, and it all basically takes care of itself. So good. 51%. Did it go up? Oh my god, I'm having a heart attack. I need to heed the warning that's down below.
Yeah.
'Cause
That final encounter. I mean, sure, I say tongue in cheek that there is, the possibility of a health risk. It's not really tongue in cheek. It's said with love, and it's said with, kind of some silly sarcasm to it, but it's actually a very serious warning, that there is the possibility that you could run the risk of getting hurt. Rob and I have a player. We've had one for years, and when we first met him, he was actually on his hospital bed getting a heart transplant. I would
yes.
not recommend that guy plays this game on ending A. He'd want to play ending B because I don't want him to die.
Yeah, that guy we had in our game was hardcore. He was in the hospital getting a heart transplant with his laptop on like the table that goes over your bed with your food, and he was playing with us, and it wasn't one time, he was in a weekly campaign with us, so it was
Yeah,
great.
he was in a lot of campaigns with us and stuff. He'd be like, "All right, hold on a second. The nurse is here to give me a new morphine drip and stuff like that." We're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Alexandri wants it to fund. She's trying to figure out if she can manage it. Well, I mean, there is even a lower $10 level to at least add to it. And guys, if you want to help, and you can only do $10, you can at least push the effort forward, and you get your name added to the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And then $25 you actually get product.
Layron and I sat down the other day, and we actually figured out that if every person at the FGC donated, what was it, $2 or $3
Yeah.
to it? Yeah, it would fund. If every person at the FGC did just like $2 or $3.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to use that same principle for when I do my contest in September. If every person what did we say, Leroon? If only one in
third or
5,
something.
a third
Yeah.
of people showed up every time, I would blow my goal out of the water, and then have to probably give away thousands of dollars worth of prizes.
All right, how about this?
I might
I
end
have
up
a
fucking
giveaway.
myself.
I have a
Okay.
giveaway. Yeah.
All right.
If we can hit 52%. Okay, we just hit 52%. All right.
Great. I didn't see it go up.
Yeah. Yep. It just went up. As I was saying it, it went up.
Oh yes, it did.
Wow.
So what is it that you just fucked yourself? You just gave something away.
No, I didn't fuck myself. I did this yesterday. Well, you were there too, Rob,
Yep.
when I did it. Mr. Rob, would you like to please put a Shadowfall copy up for grabs? So you'll get Shadowfall, you will get the Shadowfall deck, and you'll get the Encounter Tracker, your choice of PDF or Fantasy Grounds when it comes out in December.
Wow, holy can I enter that?
I don't
Oh
care.
no, I backed it. Never mind.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Shadowfall. Okay, let's see. Reset. Okay, keyword Shadowfall, everybody. This is gonna blow up. And don't forget your exclamation mark. We'll start the timer. Alexa, start timer for 5 minutes. See, I use Siri, I use Alexa, I use it all. I have everything. So, guys, if you want to win a copy of Shadowfall, which is the first portion of this Kickstarter, then yes, please enter your keyword, and when that counter gets down, we'll draw a name, and that person will win. And there goes to 53%.
Nice.
Maybe we 24-hour stream. We're gonna stay on until it hits 10,000.
That's actually not a surprise. There are people who do that kind of stuff, plus the like the countdowns and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that kind of shit works all the time.
This reminds me of those Jerry Lewis things. Remember those?
Yeah.
Glavin, hey lady, go ahead, give me money for MS.
Glavin.
I beat you to it, Rob.
You did. And what I can't remember, it's the Wednesday night game. For a while, I think my character has switched weapons now, but because he got something better. But he used to have the Glavin Flavin, which was the reach glaive.
Yep, and
I had a
and
15-foot
let's see,
reach.
what was that? Schmo had the turkey neck.
That's right.
Yep, that was.
We
that
need
was fun.
Dean Martin
That
to
was
come in
fun.
drunk. That's why. So, by the way, guys, thanks for showing up to the stream tonight. We have a pretty big audience, as per my normal get, and there's 50 people here now. So also don't forget, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. But for those of you that haven't heard, I'm doing a big contest in September. So if you want to win a hardback WotC 5th edition book or the Fantasy Grounds module, your choice, I'll be giving away 12 of those, plus other prizes, plus maybe a license. So go read all about it. There's the link in the chat that you can click to go to that. And thank you, Shad. He put the campaign link in there again too, the one we're looking at on the screen here.
Excellent. Thank you very much, sir.
53%.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
think we're
climbing.
gonna. Oh my God, we're at 54.5% now. You know, someone about 10 or 15 minutes ago, typed in the chat. They put in the Twitch chat. Just do the show another hour and you'll end at 55%. Well, we've only been doing it for about an extra 20 minutes and we're already at almost 55%.
Yeah.
So
That's
hey
awesome.
guys, great effort on this. This is going to be an exciting campaign if he's able to produce this. And keep in mind, he's not making any money. It's going to cost him more than $10,000 to do this. So you're not really putting money in his pocket. You're just funding the effort with all the art and the maps and the hard physical products he has to make, the card decks and everything else. So if you want in on this, you're going to get an awesome thing, and I'm excited about it. I mean, I was already excited about it when he mentioned it to me like 6 months ago, but now that I see that people are climbing on board, I really hope this thing is gonna go.
So I'll tell you, as a freelance game designer, because I've been a game designer for many years, if I were to write this for a company, keep in mind that depending on which company you work for, you get paid different amounts of money per word. And please note, ladies and gentlemen, that your game designers get paid absolute shit. Most game companies out there pay 1 to 2 cents a word, where WotC pays somewhere close to 20 cents to a quarter, depending on your experience, which is not a lot. When they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you can purchase a piece of artwork for 100 to 300 or higher per piece of artwork. If I were to work at my average, which my typical average when I did a lot of design and everything was about 7 cents a word, the book in and of itself would have cost almost $28,000 just for me to write it. So that's a lot of hours. That is a lot of hours. Oh, which, by the way, speaking of hours, somebody had asked how long the campaign is, like how long game actual would run. Over 200 hours of gameplay. Well over 200 hours of gameplay.
All right, now I want everyone to watch what I do. Pay special attention.
Uh-oh, he's going big.
Ooh.
I'm
kind of jealous.
I'm in for
I'm
500.
really
What?
jealous right now.
He
Oh
went
my
all
God.
in, ladies and gents. He went
I
it
went all in,
all
baby.
Woo!
I would do the 500, but I don't want to give up my spot at playing the game.
How can
Well,
I
there is an unwritten something or other about the 500s. I think Rob knows about it. I know Mark knows about it. That's why he hit 500 right off the bat.
We are at 58.5%. And
Because
Alexa
the
is telling me, Alexa, pause. She's telling me it's time to give away the prize.
All right, you go ahead and give away the prize, and then I'll tell you what the unwritten thing that I think Rob already knows about.
Okay, what is it called? A raffle. Here we go. All right, the winner of the Shadowfell module when it comes out is Aqua 4426. Yes,
Yes.
congrats to Aqua. So Aqua,
Awesome,
you're
Aqua.
on. I know he's on Discord because he's a member of FGC, right?
Yeah, he's cool.
So Aqua, message Geo if you have it. If not, just message me, and I will get him the information. And I'm sure he just needs your Discord handle so he can contact you at the appropriate time. And
I'm also in Discord, or in FGC, so you can also
yeah,
message
he
me
is. So
there
you
too.
can contact him through there. So congrats on that. All right, 58%. I bet you didn't think that was going to happen during the show, did you?
Okay, so the 500. Now this is been talked about. It's actually been talked about for a while, and it was Urash's idea initially, and I agreed to it when I've spoke to Mark privately on the side and such like that. But there is a group of people called Denver and Dragons. You guys know who they are, don't you?
I know who they are.
Yes, I do too.
The 500 is what I'm going to call the people now. The 500, those who take the $500 Kickstarter backer level, they will get to play live on a table. No computers, no assistants, just paper character sheets in front of them, solid books in front of them, and we will play face to face for a week. Solid.
Where is this going to be?
Wow.
This is going to be in upstate New York. Myself and Urash were discussing it, that there is a cabin up here in upstate New York, or a lodge up here, that's all of about an hour and change away from me. And I will haul my unhappy ass, because I do not like going out. I'm a hermit. I live in my computer. I will haul my ass and all my physical books, and people have been saying for years, I would love to play on Geo's live table. There we are. The 500 get to play on my live table for 16 hours a day for 5 days.
Now, what if 100 people do this?
Then I guess I'm traveling all over the country.
Yeah, nice.
Well, if 100 people do it at $500 a pop, that's $50,000. So
Yeah.
I would be able to afford going all over the U.S. to do it.
Cool.
Wow.
Because I get freaking flyer miles. A lot of them.
All right.
Now I'm like super, super tempted.
hmm
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, the guy who made it is saying, "Do it,
Do it. I got a private message over here in my Discord asking me what is in the Shadowfall game. Whoa! Look at that bad boy. We're up to 62%. She did it.
Was that you, Fury?
No, not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So Shadowfall is the first book in the series. This is the one that's going to be produced no matter what. Whether we fund or don't fund, we are producing. And it starts at level 1. It starts as Fate found out. It is the most unusual beginning to a campaign I think she's ever seen.
It was very different.
So it starts there. And technically, you can start in any place in Forgotten Realms, in the north specifically, Waterdeep. You could start there. You could start in Yartar. You could start in Neverwinter. Any place. You could start anywhere there. And what you're doing is you're going from there to Silvery Moon, which is in the north. There is 2 cities in the north that are described throughout the entirety of Grim and Wicked. That'd be Silvery Moon and Sundabar. But as I said, this can be played in even the most generic of fantasy worlds. I think the only fantasy world that this could not be played in is Dark Sun. So, make Geo DM in every city, Rob? Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah, that's right. If this hits
I have a game in every port!
If this hits 65% in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give away to 3 people everything I've done on the DM's Guild.
Woo!
Nice! Nice!
So by 15 of, so 10 more minutes, whatever time zone you're in, the clocks should all be the same. They should all be at 35 after the hour right now. If by the time that clock hits the 45th minute of the hour, we are at 65% or higher, I will give away 3 complete Rob Toohey everything, all the things, everything. Now, I can't give away the things that I did with other authors, but everything I've ever done, which is like 41 items on the DM's Guild worth over $150, I will give away 3 of those tonight.
Nice. Very
Okay,
nice.
so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get the 500.
You just want
Awesome.
a CD giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it.
That too,
That's going to put
yeah.
it over 65%.
Hey, well, I mean, it's just going up another 250. So that means there will be a another spot at Geo's table, virtual table.
Yep, another spot at my virtual table.
So get ready, people.
Oh,
Get
you're
ready
changing
to
from
get that
250 to
spot.
500. Oh, that's
Actually, we're
gonna
at
open up
67. We're at 67 right now.
What?
We are now at 70.
Oh my God, you
Holy
guys.
crap.
All right, well, I better start giving away shit. Hold on.
Wow. Holy shit. Wow.
All right. Rob's entire DM's Guild thing. Show you my thing. All right, here we go. Rob Toohey. Keyword's going to be Rob Toohey, guys. We're going to draw 3 winners on this. Reset. Start timer. Hey Siri, set timer for 5 minutes.
I'm so glad I just got paid by Digital
Okay,
Dave.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
70%. Almost 71.
Yep.
Holy cow. If you get to 75, Geo, I will throw in an ultimate license.
Wow.
Nice.
It's a
Very
fucking
nice.
prize extravaganza. By the way, if we get to 76%, we will have doubled the pledges during the show. It started at 38.
Yes, that is awesome, guys. Notice I'm now like getting very quiet as I stare at the screen.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable, isn't it? You guys in this chat, you guys on this show, it's all about
You guys are awesome.
You guys are totally awesome. I mean, I added 400, but it's gone up 3,200.
Did somebody get that
So-
Twitch campaign spot already?
Did somebody get it? Is that what happened?
It's available. Oh, I don't know. It's because
Let's look.
it's there.
250, 250.
Oh, it's gone. Someone
It's
else
gone?
got it. Yep, already gone. I just refreshed the page. It's like gone already.
on top of Layron, putting in an ultimate license at 75%. At 75%, I will open a second table.
Wow.
Whoa! So there you go, guys. 5
And
more
the second
spots.
table will be 6 slots open because Susie Q will not play in it twice. The second table will be 6 slots. Let me look. What do we
So the
got?
first table is the Susie table. Second table, not Susie table.
Not Susie table. Not Susie table. And
Do the voice. What, Jake? What voice are you talking? He wants me to do the voice. I don't know what voice he's talking about.
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, Jerry Lewis.
Yes.
It's funny because I can do impressions, but if somebody says, "Hey, do an impression," I melt down and can't do it. But he does Jerry Lewis did have his own brand of mayonnaise. It was called Flavin' Skug.
Oh God.
Did I hear Susie in the background?
No, Susie's in bed.
Oh. All right, where are we at? We're on this. Let's see. All right, hold on. Everybody, calm down. We're at 71.5% on the Kickstarter, and we're at 2 minutes left. If you guys want to win everything I've ever produced on the DMs Guild for the last 3 years, keyword exclamation Rob Tui in the chat. We've got 22 people entered so far. And this is, if you win this prize, you will receive this tonight. You will receive it relatively immediately after the show. And if it gets to 75%, Leyrune is kicking in a Fantasy Grounds. Did you say Ultimate?
Yep.
$150 ultimate license will be given to a person here tonight as well. Jake, I could use some good Rob Tui PDFs. Yeah, well, yeah, you'll get most of the stuff I've done, Jake, is for Fantasy Grounds, but I do have a package. By the way, I've only ever sold 2 of these, so let me show it to people because I bet people don't even know it exists. Rob Tui DMs Guild. Well, here, I'll just go to the book link. Like I don't have everything I've ever done bookmarked. Drive-through RP. No. DMs Guild, Rob Tui. PDF collection. So there is something on the DMs Guild, guys, in case you don't know, that is all my PDFs that are not Fantasy Grounds modules. And there's 12 of them. So the critical hit fumble tables, the wild magic table, the adventure unknown whom, background proficiencies, class list, devour class, dragon lord class, feat list with benefits, race ability modifiers, reincarnation race table, spell list with all info, which includes a Google sheet, and spells and cantrips known, prepare and recover. All those PDFs separately would cost like $23.60, but you can get them all for $11.95. So that'll come with, if you guys, the 3 winners that we're having, they'll get this anyway. But if anybody's interested in that, didn't know it existed, Rob Tui, Mr. Fantasy Grounds, he actually has PDF stuff. Oh my God, it's time.
Man.
First of all, let's check the Kickstarter. Let's see where we are. Yep, still at 71.5. Okay, let's give away 3 of my deals.
Wow.
So first one, what's going on?
Drake said something like, he'll give up his table if it gets up to 75% in his table spot. So Drake bought a table spot, I guess.
Okay, well that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, he's gonna go to the 500, so he
yeah.
wants to see Geo in person.
Nice.
So when you get frustrated with it, you also have that opportunity to strangle the guy that created it.
Yeah, that's right.
You get to flop around and have a heart attack in his in his house.
The first winner is Kestrian. So congrats. And I'm gonna need to, in this case, I'm gonna need to write these winners down. So Kestrian.
Physics Man said the same thing, because apparently everybody wants to have Geo at their house to DM.
Wow. Gonna be flying them out.
Okay,
that'll be fun.
So guys,
international DJ.
If you're one of these people that's winning, I'm gonna pull 2 more names. You need to PM me in Discord and give me your not your Fantasy Grounds, your DMs Guild email. And here's my Discord link for those of you that don't have it. By the way, anybody listening, if you're not in my Discord, just click the link and get in there. Come on, man. What's the deal? So, Kestrian... 73. Okay, cool. Hopefully, I'm going to draw 2 more names, and we'll see if it hits 75. So, Kestrian is the first winner. Congrats. Second winner is... Physics Man. Boom.
Yeah. Bam.
So Physics Man, you know the deal. He won the thing before, right? Didn't he win twice?
He won something else.
He won something.
Yeah.
He won. Yeah.
Yeah, he won one of the things that you handed out earlier.
Okay, and then third winner is High Jumper. What's up, High Jumper? I didn't know you were here tonight. Nice. High Jumper, what's up?
Hey, haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen High Jumper in a while. So good. So you 3 people, please PM me in Discord and let me know. And Physics Man, just give me another PM. I think you won the thing I gave away earlier tonight, which I already forgot what it was. What did I give away? Oh, it was any
Wow.
any one thing. So basically, you're just gonna get upgraded, Physics Man. Instead of any one thing, you're just gonna get it all now. Because tonight's crazy town is what's happening here. We, by the
Not
way, did not plan this to go this way. We
No.
No, we didn't. No, I was expecting maybe hitting like mid 40s or something like that today.
yeah.
73.
Hey,
I
Paul,
know.
another ultimate license if we make 90% offered by a student and a member of FGC.
Wow.
Wow.
He just
Okay,
sent
so-
Rob a message about it too.
2 more. Yeah, and I'm not gonna check my PMs until after the show, unfortunately. So if you guys are messaging me now, I won't see it till after the show. But 2 more
That's
percent.
Paul.
2 more
Okay.
percent gets an ultimate license for somebody, and then another 15% on top of that gets an ultimate license. And I'm about to do some crazy shit right here.
Uh-oh.
If
Oh,
this
did you add
thing-
the other 250 level?
I'm doing that right now. I'm adding another set of 250.
Okay,
Sweet.
Barbarian is like chomping at the bit to get there.
Yeah, he is. Turn on the 250 and I'll take one, sir.
if this thing funds by the top of the hour at 100% by 8 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to give away a $100 DM's Guild gift certificate to someone.
Woo! That means you can buy anything.
You buy any.
There we go. I just opened up 6 more spots on the 250 level. And we will see what happens.
So now we got to start writing shit down that we promised here. Hold on a second.
Okay, Aaron
Uh,
at 75, Leroon at 75. Wow.
Okay,
74
so
and a half is what we're at right at the moment.
75% is ultimate license.
Yep.
90% is another ultimate.
And that was Ball that promised that.
Oh, nice. This is going to be Leroon. These are the 3 winners of the...
Holy cow. Let's look at that damn thing now.
All right, hold on. And if it goes to 100%, I'm going to give away a $100 DM's Guild gift certificate.
If it
Okay.
goes to
Out of
100%, I have
okay.
something I'm giving away too.
Okay, cool.
All right. 75.5.
Let's take a look.
Well, we're at the 70. Yeah, we're at 75 already.
75 and a half. Okay, so well, all right. Let's put in the ultimate license. Fuck, we gotta.
Yep.
Everybody's just doing
Alrighty.
it. Half because they want it, and half because they want to make my ass work is why they like to do it. Okay, so let's do.
I like watching your ass work.
I'm working.
Me
my
too.
ass off. Ultimate. This is gonna be for Fantasy Grounds ultimate license. Oh,
Keyword
course.
grim.
ultimate.
Of course, people think that I'm just joking about, watching, your ass work. I actually paid you $10 to dance live on stream
You did,
one day.
but
so...
Susie had to yell at you to make you do it, though.
I know.
You promised me $10, and then you said, I'm not going to pay you. And she was like, you're goddamn going to pay him that $10.
Yes, she did. So there, take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're married and somebody says, hey, you should really pay the person, I'm like, but he should have just asked for the money up front.
Alexa, set timer for 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, guys. Keyword ultimate to win the Ultimate Fantasy Grounds license. And unlike other prizes, when I always give a big speech about if you win a prize, I'm not going to forward it to anybody. I'm not going to, push it to the next week's show. Nothing like that. If you win a prize, you got to take it. The only time we don't do that is if you win an ultimate license. You can give that to someone else. So if you have a family member or a gaming buddy or your mom or dad or whoever it is, if you already have the ultimate license, you can enter this, and if you win, we can give it to that person. So everybody can pretty much enter this. Ida, she called me during the show. How dare she? She knows I do Sunday night show.
Miss Fakta?
Ida Fakta. Yeah, that's her name. Ida Fakta. Okay, so 75%. And but my thing was it had to happen before 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna go make that note here.
Okay. How many people are in this stream tonight? Roughly about 45.
Yeah, it was over 50 before.
Wow.
But people are like, "Hey, I bought the thing and I won shit. I'm out of here."
Wow. I got 4 spots left on the 250. So if you want to be in the second Twitch campaign, then there you go. You got 4 spots left.
Cool.
Of course, now that people see that, I'm willing to run in person for the people who get the 500, they're like, oh shit, give me that instead.
Yeah, and I wanted to go on record that I upped it before I knew that.
Hey, Gio,
Yes,
where's
you did.
Susie at?
In bed.
What? Well, I understand. She's probably tired. Get her back up. Maybe not.
Can I
don't know
butt
if I should.
one at the other table so I can tell them what to run? I don't know what that means. Can I buy one at the other table so I can tell them what to run? That's what Drake is
When
asking.
to run. When to run.
When to run, yeah. I am posting to the stream to 66k sub YT channel Zenball.
Nice.
Diablo Bob says if I could do 250, I would.
Nice.
When to run. Yeah, okay, Drake, I got it.
Yeah.
All right, we're still at 75%. We got some time left on the timer for the ultimate license. Let's go back and look at that. That's got 2 minutes left. So guys, don't forget in September the big contest. I'll put that link in the chat again. I'm giving away a shit ton of prizes in September if all goes well. So if you don't know what that's about, click on that link and go read about it. It's got the
Speaking of
schedule
which,
in there.
Yep. I've got a whole shit ton of stuff that I'm giving away in September as well. Because September 5th is my birthday. So because it's my birthday, I'm giving away stuff on my birthday. It's the first episode of season 5 of Legends and Lore. We have a special guest, Mr. Passion for Drawing himself, Mr. R.M. Schaefer. He will be joining us as our special guest for Art in RPGs, is what we're talking about in our first one. He's also going to be our guest judge for our coloring contest that we're having. Be sure to stop by the FGC announcement section or my own Discord in the announcement section about the coloring contest. Those who win the coloring contest, there are 2 slots. There's one for Susie Q, one for myself, will win a copy of Shadowfall when it comes out in December. And that person will also, or those people will also have their artwork featured on the title card for the entire season 5. I also know that Mr. Schaefer is giving away stuff like draw your character kind of stuff. He will draw your character for you. So lots and lots of stuff giving away. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Cool.
And he's a great artist. I had him draw my Tabaxi Druid, which was great. I loved it very much. I even got to color it afterwards.
Sweet.
I'm going to amend my prize. I said I would give away $100 Alexa pause, $100 gift certificate. I will instead at 8 o'clock. Alexa pause. Shut up, you stupid bitch. At 8 o'clock, I will give away a gift certificate equal to the amount of money I've made today on the DM's Guild. So at this point, it's $141. I'll just Alexa pause. Oh my God.
Go to sleep, Alexa.
Alexa,
She
stop
doesn't
timer.
even listen to you.
It's like having
Alexa, who's Jesus Christ?
Okay, I think she's done. I will unplug your ass. So I'll give away whatever that number says at 8 o'clock. If it hits 100%, I'll give away that much instead of 100. So if I buy a $200 on your yes, that's right, Drake. That is true. But it would only go up by 100 because remember, I only get half. So if you buy $200, it's only going to go up $100. Okay, let's see where we are. We're going to give away this license though first. I think the timer's out, so let's do it. So the winner of the Fantasy Grounds Ultimate License is Fury Fate.
Woo!
So Fury,
Oh,
you
God.
can give that to whoever you want, because I'm assuming you have that, don't you? Or don't you?
I don't.
What? Oh my
What?
God, everybody! Fury Fate does not have. Well, she does now. So let's check the percentage. By the way, geoquestergaming.com, guys. We forgot to put that in the chat for people. Jeff does have a website.
That's not important. The important part is the
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
yeah, that's not
As long
as
as we
important as the
spam that
Kickstarter.
shit.
All right, so let's see. We're at 75. I think we're still at 75 and a half.
Jurosh.
Yep. Yep. I'm like, yeah. Right now, I need to have the disclaimer that my heart is about ready to rip through my chest, and I've got like tears coming to my eyes. I don't cry. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't cry. I've cried 5 times in my life.
All right, let's put the camera.
Once when each of my kids. No, I'm not going to put my camera on. Once when each of my kids was born. Once when I was married. Okay, so those are the 5 times I've ever cried. I'm actually very, very close today. I'm almost as close as I was when Alex left to go to college and I dropped him off. Like I got all misty eyed and everything, which is really kind of funny because he just messaged me and said, "I love you. Good night, family." So my son hasn't said "I love you" to us in 10 years, and I've heard it a couple of dozens of times since Thursday. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, leaving home will change your perspective.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So there's less than 3 minutes left for my thing. I don't know that that's going to happen unless we get like 5 people all doing the 500 right now. But we still have a chance to hit 90% to get another ultimate license. And if we don't, I'm still going to say that we had a very successful show tonight because we basically did double the amount of pledge money that
which
when the show
is
started.
Amazing.
It's amazing. I had no earthly idea that would happen. I mean, I knew it was possible, but I mean, it just goes to. I mean, I'm going to cry now because it just goes to show you how awesome the people of this community are. And many of the fans that you have are my same fans, and like Schmo and Dave, and they're members of Fantasy Grounds College, and so it's a small community, but it's pretty tight, and you know it's a very supportive environment, and so I mean it's just an awesome thing. I mean I it's unbelievable. So I'm really glad that this was able to push this up, and in the last
77.
5 days, 77. In the last 5 days, if it can get to the goal mark, then you know we're all going to have an awesome thing. And so yeah, cool.
Yeah, very yeah. That's all I can say. It's very yeah.
It's very
I forgot how to speak English.
And guys, don't forget to put this on your Facebook and on your Twitter. Put those tags in there. Let your friends know who aren't on the stream tonight.
Not sure what happened, but it just went down. So I don't know what that's about. Now Geo can know who that was, but he doesn't have to say anything. But,
I'm not going to say anything.
We're not going to shame them on public.
But I wonder if someone is changing, and instead of changing, they took one away, and then they're going to add it back. I don't know. But
we'll find out.
In the future. Geo, you're going to have to tell me after the show what the hell that deal was.
I know who it is, and I know what's going on.
Okay, but yeah, guys, don't pledge and then take your pledge back. That's lame. Right after I gave a speech about how awesome the community is, that happens. But,
well, okay, so earlier today, before the stream and everything like that, I decided to go through and look at everybody who had canceled pledges and kind of thing. It in total ended up being something like 12% of the overall value of the well, that's before this one. It was like 12% of the overall campaign would have been funded if these people just didn't cancel their pledges.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I guess people have reasons, but yeah, that's just not kind of cool.
Either that or
But
they decide to back out because they're like, oh man, it's never going to hit it. Well, guess what, motherfucker? It could if you didn't be such a
they're like, oh
pansy.
shit, I might have to pay. Fuck this, I'm out of here. Yeah, well, don't be an asshole. One of those card that takes like 3 days to post. I don't know. Someone who's done 21 Kickstarters, Geo, you're in a very good position. That will almost certainly fund, by my estimate, as 15 to 18K. That's what
That's
Chris is
awesome.
saying. Chris from Game
Yep.
Tile Warehouse. Hey, what's up, Chris?
What up, Chris?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
on
if
his
that's the
too.
case, okay, say we reach our first stretch goal, which is 12.5. Okay, now on there it says more color maps by Derek Ruiz. For those of you who don't know, the reason why we're doing the Kickstarter, once again, is to pay for two specific people. Derek Ruiz of Elven Tower Cartography is going to be doing the maps.
Cool.
A fair number of maps. I love his style. It fits along with the artwork style and everything like that. And we are going to add more maps by Derek at the 12.5 mark. The other half of our Kickstarter is going to Rick Hershey of Fat Goblin Games, who has done layout for Wizards of the Coast, Sword and Sorcery Studios, GURPS, Steve Jackson, all the rest of those guys. He is a professional artist, and he is also a professional graphic artist. He's also going to redo the all of the graphic elements, including the titles and all the rest of that stuff. He's redoing all of those. He's doing all the layout inside. He's doing amazing stuff all over the place with it. At the 12.5 mark, I'm also getting Storm Cook, the guy who did all 4 covers. He's doing 10 pieces of black and white art to go into the book as NPCs. So for those of you who are doing the Get in the Game, Storm is doing 10 of those. The other portion of those, so another 25 pieces of commissioned artwork are coming from Passion for Gaming, Mr. R.M. Schaefer. He's also done work with Wizards of the Coast and a bunch of others. So at 12.5, if we were to reach that goal, like is possibly projected in the next 5 days, that will definitely be a big thing. Now, if we hit the $15,000 goal, for those who know what I'm about ready to say, don't mention it, Fate. You'll understand. There's going to be a Session 0 adventure added to the virtual campaign box and to the print box as well. It's called Morty and the Mule. It's the Session 0 adventure that starts the characters off. That's going to be a short one. I think it's only about 16 pages long.
Yeah,
Morty!
So, thanks, Drake, for the cheer bits, by the
Cheer
way.
bits. Cheer bits in the stream.
And
Thanks for the cheer
Marbanya,
bits.
thanks for the cheer bits. Let's see, somebody said, oh yeah, Chris was, we had said that earlier in the show, Chris, but he's reminding everybody that Kickstarter does send out the 48-hour notice for people that ask to be reminded. So I'm thinking with a push, we've got a great shot at, it's all of a sudden it's we. I have nothing to fucking do with it. But this should fund as far as I'm concerned. I'm really hoping it does. I'm really excited about it.
I am very excited about it too. Very excited.
I think we've probably topped out for the show. We did a 2-hour show. It's past the top of the hour, so we didn't. Oh, there, it's back up again.
Yep,
76.
Nice.
Cool.
Hey, Gio, Rob and I got together right before this, and we were going to do a different show today. That was, what, last week, Rob?
Yeah, we were going to do the top 10 tips, and by the way, I am going to post that link in the chat because we're going to do that in 2 weeks from today. But we moved that show because we wanted to be able to get Geo and this was the perfect time. I mean, this was the Sunday before the end of the campaign, so we decided to see if he wanted to do it, and of course he does because he's awesome. And so yeah, we moved our other show to do this show.
And we said we wanted it to fund. Both of us said, yeah, regardless, no matter what, we want this to fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
That's what. Well, that's
definitely.
It's very rare that Rob and I can agree on something just like that without any.
With no other discussion, yeah. So guys, put a link in the chat for the thing you're looking at on the screen right now, which is a poll that we're doing. What is the best Fantasy Grounds tip? And you can go to that poll and vote. And if you don't like what any of the ones that are on there, you can add your own. So and then we'll take the top 10 of whatever those are on the show in 2 weeks, because next week there's no show because I'll be at PAX and I'll be at having doctors look at my liver. But when we do that show, we'll talk about those tips and we'll actually show each one of them. So that's what that's for. How are we doing? 76%.
76. Yep. We're
So
kind of.
exactly,
I think we've planed off at 76.
Yep, exactly double what it was when we started today. Because
Awesome.
it was at 38. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and end the show there. That does not mean to stop pledging, and also please continue to spread the word about this. You guys have had the link enough, and I'll post it in the chat one more time. So bookmark that or whatever you guys want to do, and let people know. And do. It does help. It really does help for you guys to post that on your Facebooks or your Twitters or your Instagrams or your MySpaces or whatever social media of choice you have from 15 years ago.
So
But
Alex,
yeah, spread the word.
Alex was looking for the link for that poll again for the best top 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll put that in there again.
How many Twitch seats we remaining? I think we have 5 or 6.
Yep. Twitch.
Cool. Okay, so we gave away. I gave away 3 of everything from DM's Guild. We gave away an Ultimate License. We gave away a Shadowfall module, and we doubled the pledges for Grim and the Wicked. So that's a good show.
That is an amazing
Sweet.
show.
So I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Please, spread the word about this, and we will see you back here. What's today? Sunday? Yeah. So I'll be doing module creation tomorrow. So once again, thanks to Gio for coming by tonight and sharing his project with us. And on behalf of him and my co-host Leyrune and Furied Fate, I'd like to thank everybody in the audience, and we will see you next time. And until then, good gaming, everyone.